What's good, y'all? It's Mikey T, the movie star. I'm back for another exclusive, probably one that I should have done a lot earlier, but a lot of people are putting a lot of smut a lot of people are putting a lot of dirt on my boy Dark Low's name. You know what I mean? Don't be putting that on my boy Dark Low. Dark Low is a very intelligent individual. You could go look at several of our videos where we're talking about other type of topics. Dark Low was the type of person to bring me topics and be like, Mike, we need to talk about this. We need to talk about the radio DJs. Mikey T, we need to talk about politics. So, Dark Low would bring topics to me as well. Last person I remember who actually did that was actually Chinks, R.I.P. Chinks. Just thinking back about that makes me think about all the DMs that I got from Chinks back in the day, just telling me like, Mike, it's time that we get this started. So this is the actual interview that Dark Low had with the feds. At this point, Dark Low was most likely being denied his medication, as he told me in a letter that he sent me. He was being denied his medication, which he ultimately got. So at the beginning of this whole thing, they're basically stating that they're going to be recording the conversation. Apparently the court finds that the government may introduce as evidence copies of the original recordings, which are identical to the original recordings in all material ways by the court. So they're going to be using this in court. In the United States District Court for the Eastern District of Pennsylvania, the United States of America versus Charles Sally, criminal number 19-688. The government's motion in audio and video recordings. The United States of America by its attorneys, William M. McSwain, the United States attorneys for the Eastern District of Pennsylvania, and Justin Ashenfelter, the Assistant United States Attorney, hereby moves for the admission of audio and video recordings at the trial of the above captioned matter and in support of thereof. Wow. So they're actually going to be using this in court against Dark Low, if it even goes that far. Hopefully they could come to some sort of an agreement in the time before it goes to trial, and Low can come out of this with something as low as a year and a half in jail. So on November 26, 2019, a federal grand jury sitting in the Eastern District of Pennsylvania returned an indictment in the above captioned case charging Charles Sally, a.k.a. Dark Low, a.k.a. Ron Harvey Jr., with witness tampering in violation of 18 U.S.C. 1512 and possession of a firearm by a felon in violation of 18 U.S.C. 922. Wow, so this is actually two charges we're talking about. If anybody didn't know, I know a lot of people they don't know right now what's going on with Dark Low. They think it's just witness tampering, or some people even think Dark Low is involved in the indictment, and that's what I'm here to clear up. Dark Low was not named in ARAB's indictment. This is a separate matter that somewhat has to do with the current matter. So Dark Low is facing two charges. At trial in this matter, the government intends to offer into evidence video and audio recordings, a post-arrest Mirandaized videotaped interview of the defendant conducted by law enforcement at the FBI's Philadelphia office. Selected portions of two telephone conversations the defendant had while incarcerated at the Federal Detention Center in Philadelphia on this case, both recorded on November 12, 2019. All recordings are spoken in English, clear English. At the time of the recordings are played aloud at trial, the government will move to distribute transcripts of the conversations to the jury, which can be admitted as an aid to the jury so the members can follow along. The government has provided copies of all recordings in its possession and the discovery. A verbatim transcript of the entire approximate 1 hour and 55-minute video interview with the defendant following his arrest on November 7, 2019. Wow, it's actually my brother's birthday, November 7th. So the background. On November 7th, 2019, the defendant was arrested and charged by complaint and warrant with witness tampering. Following his arrest, the defendant was interviewed at the FBI Philadelphia office, during which time he waived his Miranda rights and agreed to speak with agents for approximately 2 hours. The interview was videotaped and the conversation was audible. The defendant admitted to, among other things, sending a letter to a cooperating witness prior to the witness testimony in the trial of the United States versus Abdul West, which is the subject of the witness tampering charge alleged in the case. He also admitted to possessing a firearm recovered from his house at the time of his arrest in Delaware. Several hours after his video interview with the FBI, the defendant was lodged at Federal Detention Center, the FDC, in Philadelphia, where remains detained as of this writing. While incarcerated, the defendant had phone privileges, and on November 12, 2019, he made 2 phone calls to 2 different women from the FDC. These calls were consensually recorded by the FDC monitoring system. During those conversations, the defendant discussed the crimes with which he charged and made several admissions regarding his guilt. Wow. On November 26, 2019, the defendant was indicted by a federal grand jury and charged with witness tampering in violation of 18 U.S.C. and felon in possession of a firearm. At trial, the government seeks to introduce the videotaped statement and a transcript of the interview the defendant provided to the FBI agents November 7th, as well as portions of 2 phone conversations he had on the November 12, 2019 mentioned above. So what I'm about to start reading is labeled as Exhibit A. The conversation is labeled as Exhibit A with dark low. So the participants are S.A., the Special Agent William Becker, the TFO, the Task Force Officer William Schluser, CS Charles Sally, that's dark low, UM unidentified male, UF unidentified female. All right, so as we get into the actual conversation that dark low had with the special agent and the task force officer, it's labeled as Exhibit A. So this is their main exhibit in dark low's case. So we get into the conversation with the task force officer coming in saying, "This is Will," and they ask Mr. Sally, how are you? Dark Low replies, "What's up, Will? Good to meet you. You too, bro. What can I call you?" they ask him. "Whatever. What do you like to be called? Low? Low? Dark? Low? Low? Yeah. Mr. Sally occasionally, whatever. It's all good," Dark Low says. "All right, yeah. I mean, how many times do you want in here?" "We're good with whatever you want to do, bud." The task force officer and the special agent are just letting him know they'll stay there as long as it needs to be. And this is actually a 2-hour conversation that they had, so they were there for quite a bit. So they're talking about Dark Low's iPhone. They're asking him if it's gray on the back. Dark Low says no, it's all black. And they apparently have his phone. This it? He said, "I don't really know." "Yeah, you're right. It's an iPhone." "Yeah, an iPhone. 11? Dark Low says, "No, iPhone 10. 10, okay. Is it gray or black?" "Let me see. I want to see. I'll tell you. Take the cover off. It looks blackish." "Yeah. You want gum or anything, dude?" "No. My breath stinks, so I'm like, I got to put something in it," the special agent says. "That's why I got these right here." Dark Low had some sort of a candy on him, I guess. Maybe a mints or something like that. "Yeah." And then the task force officer laughs. "So what's going on, dude?" the special agent asks. Dark Low hits him with a sigh. "It's bad. Bad day, man. Bad night." Yeah, I hear you. "Did we figure out which one of these we have to..." "There's a major blacked out portion here, which some people have brought to my attention. I don't really know what this whole blacked out portion was about. Maybe it could have been something that Dark Low wanted to retract and said, don't put that in there. No, maybe it was just confusion. Honestly, the beginning of this conversation seems like a whole lot of confusion to me between the special agent, the task force officer, and Dark Low, between trying to understand what they're going to call each other. It just seems like a whole lot of confusion to me." So the task force officer comes in. "All right, bro, I'm going to read you your rights, okay? So it's official, and I told you you're being recorded. We're all being recorded in the room." "Mm-hmm. Okay, after I flip it around, you can read it yourself, just to be sure. Then I'm going to have you sign it, okay? So before we ask you any questions, you must understand your rights. You have to remain silent." "Mm-hmm. Anything you say can and will be used against you in court." "Mm-hmm. You have the right to talk to your lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions. You have the right to have a lawyer with you during any questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you for any questions, if you wish. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you have the right to stop answering at any time. You can tell us you don't want to talk. Do you understand that? Dark Lowe's just replying with, Okay, so take your time and read it over if you want. I got it, Dark Lowe replies. I didn't skip anything. And then if you're okay with talking to us without a lawyer here, then you can just sign where it says sign if you're cool with talking. All right, bro, thanks. The other thing that I'm going to have you fill out, this is a consent, as I mentioned, to search your phones. If you're okay with searching your phones. So we got another big blacked out part right here. This one's even bigger than 2 blacked out parts, actually. Mad blacked out parts in this whole thing. I'm going to attach a link below so y'all can check it out and y'all can make your own decisions. Me personally, I stand firmly behind Dark Lowe. I don't question what my brother does. Dark Lowe's coming home soon. So anyways, we get back into it. There's a couple things we have to talk to you about. So yeah, here's, like we were discussing earlier about the letters too, okay? So we got to talk to you real quick about that. There's actually 2 things we kind of have to do. One of them's going to suck. So I don't know if they told you or not that we actually we got a warrant for a handwriting sample. From you. They told you about that? So we got a whole blacked out part, and right now I'm going to make the assumption that this blacked out part might actually be some of Dark Lowe's handwriting. So that could potentially is going to be what it is in some of these blacked out marks. And that's crazy that they wanted Dark Lowe's handwriting. But let's continue reading to see if they even actually need it. Exactly how it is on the envelope. So you wrote these letters, correct? Yeah. Okay, what was the point of writing the most recent one? I only wrote him 1 letter. This one? Let me see. The one in the blue? This one. Yeah. Oh, that's my little brother. And he was telling, so I had to give him a piece of my mind. Now this is Dark Lowe admitting that he wrote one of the letters to Taz, who he refers to as a little brother. And Dark Lowe hit him up with a letter to let him know what was on his mind. To me, in my opinion, since Dark Lowe is the one who, he was one of the biggest members of OBH, him actually having a relationship with Taz, I think they met in jail or something like that. He feels a certain way that he's actually the one who brought this guy around OBH, and for him to go and turn the relationship like he did. Like for instance, Dark Lowe introduced me to ARAB, and me and Ab started doing a succession of interviews, and we started doing hundreds of thousands of views on the internet. One of our interviews landed on MTV. So that's Dark Lowe putting me in position with ARAB. That could show you how good intentioned he was when it came to that, not introducing somebody to ARAB with this violent mentality that Taz has. And now, come to find out, in 2010, Taz had actually wanted to do harm to ARAB. But let's get back into this. Dark Lowe said, I only wrote him 1 letter, denying that he did 2. Lowe denied that he wrote 2 letters here. So I only wrote him 1 letter. This one, let me see. The one in the blue? This one? Yeah. Oh, that's my little brother. He was telling, so I had to give him a piece of my mind, okay? I ain't threatening him. I ain't saying I'm gonna kill him or get somebody to kill him. Nothing. Put no type of threats in there. You see, like any threats to anybody? But I mean, Dark Lowe is saying, yeah, again, I'm kind of going over it now, the special agent replies. I chastised him like, yo, you're a rat. I didn't threaten him about nothing. No violence. No nothing. Didn't wish nothing on him. I told him to be careful. Like I noticed the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle reference in there too as well. Oh, what I put in there? You called him Master Splinter. Yeah, that's what we call him, Master Splinter. All right, 2 things here. Well, just that's for you if you want to give your number, title, and code. I don't know what they're talking about. You're all right with the drinks? Do you need anything else? Dark Lowe replies, no, I'm good. Obviously, Mr. Stewart's a important witness for us, and we're doing everything we can to protect him. Dark Low replies, not the murderer. The task force agent officer actually laughs. The special agent comes in, what's that? Oh, not the murderer. Dark Low replies, not the murderer. The task force officer comes in, Low, you got any aliases other than Dark Low? So at this point, they're just ignoring Dark Low mentioning that Taz is a known murderer. I mean, in the last couple days with the testimony dropping, you could see he's been charged with about 4 bodies. The guy who took his brother, Robbie Johnson, and then 2 other people at a trap house. So the feds here are actively protecting a legit murderer. It's crazy to me. They're protecting a murderer over somebody who could have been in the music industry. Doesn't make any sense to me. And now they're just avoiding the whole subject, and they're going to bring up Dark Low's aliases. For anybody who out there was thinking that Dark Low was snitching by putting this evidence to the cops, that's not true. That's not true at all. Dark Low needs to right some wrongs that have been done with this whole case. This guy right here, Taz, couldn't take his time like a man from what he's going out there and doing on his own. He's got to crumble a whole empire with him. So they're going to get into aliases here. Low, you got any aliases? The task force officer, changing the subject, and asks Ron Harvey. It's not really an alias. It's more of a nickname. But do you have any other names you've ever used in the past or arrested? Nah. Yeah, it's all right, but when you say you're trying to protect him, it was no threats towards him at all. That's why when we get a letter, first of all, from Big Bro, Dark Low interjects, it was addressed from Ron Harvey. That's me. You know me as. Yeah. You know who he is. He's who? Who? Ron Harvey? Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's one of my AKAs, though. Right. Everybody knows that. But there's some other stuff in there that got their attention, like, I don't want you to get stabbed up. I don't. And start bleeding. I don't. I get that, but I'm saying, Dark Low laughs, I'm going to F you up, your baby mom. I'm going to F up your baby mom, Dark Low replies. Your little, ugly, dirty, gullible ass just forgot my guy. Yes, sir, I said that to him. I'm going to F his baby mom. I said that. I did. You don't think that can be perceived a little bit as a threat? Me effing his baby mom is a threat? I figured if someone is going to go to prison for a long time, you're not saying I don't want you to get stabbed up. I don't want you to. I don't. But yeah, I'm going to F your baby mom. Yeah. I'm going to be sitting in the front row of the court. Yeah. Watching you. I am. It's like me talking to my little y'all brothers and you're going to tell him the same thing, man? F you, man. Like I'm going to tell him, you're going to cuss him out. I'm just cussing my little brother. Well, my used to be little brother. I'm just cussing him out. Yeah. I ain't like, so you're on my get this dude to stab you, none of that. I'm just cussing him out. He was really under my arm. He hurt me. Well, you were saying to, I forgot about this. Well, he mentioned in the car, if you want to talk about it again, that basically what Low told me was that he was pretty much the one who introduced Taz to these guys. And this was another big thing right here, because everything was below. Nobody knew at this point. Nobody in the public's eye knew at this point that it was Dark Low that introduced Taz to OBH. It was all the OBH members that knew that Dark Low introduced Taz to OBH. And they were all feeling a type of way. They were all feeling a real type of way about Dark Low. But Dark Low, being the man that he is, I respect this. He went and put it out there publicly that he is actually the one that introduced Taz to OBH. That took a lot of courage for Dark Low to face that, knowing that he was the number 2 man in an empire that was crumbled by somebody that he brought to the pack. And I respect that 100% from Dark Low. And I think Dark Low handled this situation that the same way a lot of people would have. So I don't think Dark Low should be at fault about that. And we're going to keep going with this, because you'll see how Dark Low feels about his case coming up in the next part of this. But stay tuned, all right? Subscribe. Everybody hit that like button. Let your friends know. Subscribe to Report Card Radio. Follow me on the gram, Mikey T _ the movie star. Free Dark Low, free ARAB, free the whole OBH.